In this terrifying 3-minute true story, we reveal how a local family endured a nightmare experience when selling their home. The Thomas family were like many you'll know from our area. There was Mum, Dad, their 2 young children, Evie and Sam, and a black cat called Lucky. They were popular, and that's why people were disappointed to learn they were selling up and moving on due to Mr. Thomas getting a new job in another part of the country. Like many homeowners, the Thomases called in 3 estate agents to value their home. The first 2 agents were both likeable, presentable and knowledgeable. Their valuations were similar, give or take £2,000. Everything was going to plan until the 3rd agent turned up. The doorbell rang at 8 p.m. and Mr. Thomas opened it. The agent, let's call him Damien, stepped out of the darkness into the light. The next 20 minutes were a blur. Damien was devilishly charming and talked in a hypnotic way.
Look into my eyes, not directly in my eyes. Look into
He gave a valuation of £20,000 more than the other 2 agents. He lowered his voice, which made the Thomases lean in. And then he said, "I have dozens of people looking for a home like yours. It'll be sold in no time at all. Would you like a pen?" The Thomases signed a long contract on the spot, instructing Damien's agency to sell the property. As Damien walked down the path whistling softly, a black crow landed on the family car and stared soullessly at the Thomases. Was this a bad omen? "Something doesn't feel right," said Mr. Thomas a day after the visit.
"I know what you mean, Dad.
Said Evie, the couple's 8-year-old.
That weird man didn't have a shadow when he stood by the lamp."
Mr. Thomas ignored it as the workings of a child's wild imagination, but then things began to get scary. They never saw Damien again after that. His office always said he was unavailable whenever they called for an update.
"Please leave a message and we won't get back to you."
But he wasn't the only thing that couldn't be found. Due to the phantom price scaring off buyers, the family home attracted very little interest. It was sat in the wrong price band for a property of its type due to the extra £20,000. The poor communication from their agency and the lack of viewings was becoming a horror show for the family as their move became ever closer. Because they couldn't sell, they couldn't buy, and this caused a nightmarish amount of stress for the family. The moral of their story is to be very wary of smooth-talking agents who promise the earth, conjure up mesmerizing market values for your home, and then vanish suddenly. You may be asking why we are referring to the Thomas family in the past tense. Well, thanks to us visiting them after Damien, accurately valuing their home and creating an effective marketing plan for their property sale, they have now successfully moved to pastures new. But whatever happened to the mysterious agent? Legend has it he can still be seen around the local area, still casting no shadow, but often leaving a trail of homeowner horror stories in his wake. To avoid an unhappy ending, take this tale as a warning on what happens when estate agents concoct scary overvaluations. Thank you for listening, and happy Halloween.